The man who killed Uncle Ben is out there somewhere. I will find him.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 game feels like what would happen if you found a cursed monkey's paw and wished for the best web-slinging experience ever. For all of the fun you have swinging around New York City, it's cancelled out by boring Peter Parker segments, frustratingly dull combat, and annoyingly persistent glitches. Meanwhile, plot is tossed aside in favor of churning out an unsatisfying parade of supervillains. Traversal is much improved from 2012's Amazing Spider-Man game. Your web lines now have to actually attach to a nearby building or structure, so you're encouraged to swing close to the ground where taxis and other vehicles honk as you narrowly miss them. It's much more fun than flying high above them on webs apparently attached to clouds. Having the left and right triggers mapped to swinging with their respective arms is a nice addition too. The ability to alternate adds a tad more authenticity to Spidey's wild and fast swinging, as does cutting around a corner by using the inside arm. I never wanted to stop moving in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Adding to that feeling is that things aren't much fun once you slow down. Like the last movie tie-in, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 tries to be Arkham Light when it comes to combat, and fails due to its repetitive nature. While Spidey's range for stealth attacks has been increased, the benefit is negated by the guesswork involved in discovering said range, since there is no indicator. When you're inevitably discovered, there's usually not much to winning fights. Button mash the attack button until your Spidey sense tingles, then dodge. If you need to slow an enemy down, spam them with webbing. It lacks the options that makes Batman's combat interesting. The subpar enemy AI comes to light whenever you web dash just a few feet away from a thug. That'll often confound lesser foes, even the ones that accompany bosses. When enemies aren't easily confused, they're straight up broken. You can expect multiple occurrences of thugs walking into walls, or bosses that glitch into game-breaking states. This either renders them completely open to attack or indefinitely invincible, requiring a restart. Missions in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 are significantly shorter than its predecessors, but the running time is roughly the same 7 hours due to undesirable padding. The combat lead up to a boss battle is actually pretty short. More often than not, you'll have to clear a single large room of enemies before progressing to the supervillain. It takes about 15 minutes to beat one, but you'll have to spend another 15 during that mission slowly walking around, taking photos, and searching for items as Peter Parker. The biggest affront in this added time is the interactive dialogue sequences. These are actually consequence-free choices that just determine the order in which questions are asked. Not that it really matters. Where the movies at least make an effort to give you nuanced introductions and unique team-ups, this bland plot throws just about every single one of the 7 supervillains into the fray, individually and without fanfare. You can unlock more backstory via side missions, but they're rarely worth the effort. Nevertheless, you will have to tackle them on occasion since there are a few instances where the only requirement to progress in a mission is explore the city. The only good ones are the Russian mob hideouts, which are always just the right length and unlock cool new costumes.
Totally creeps me out. Makes me feel better.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is yet another example of what happens when games are rushed out to coincide with a movie release date. It's especially frustrating because the web slinging really is fun, but developer Beanox wasn't able to keep the momentum going once you hit the ground. The next time there is an Amazing Spider-Man movie, hopefully combat can be brought up to snuff since there's plenty of promise in the air. For more on The Amazing Spider-Man 2, keep it on IGN.
Funny how when crime's up, it's my fault. And when it's down, everyone forgets I exist. Gotta go fast. Now that was awesome.